Hello, friends. Those Back Pages here. I hope you're well. As you can probably tell by the title of tonight's episode, we're going to talk about the National. But first, if you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by. It means a lot to me that you would take your time to spend with me as I talk about hobby-related topics, whatever it may be. As I had recently seen a video discouraging people from going to the National, I want to spin it in the other direction. And why you absolutely must go to the National. Now, we're about a month out from this year's National, which will be in Chicago the last week of July and the first weekend of August of 2021. So if you're watching this in June or July of 2021, you still have time. If you live anywhere within a few hours drive, it's a no-brainer to go. If you live further than that, it's still seriously worth your consideration to attend. It is difficult for me to sit here and describe exactly what it's like to go to the National for those that have never been. My channel here on YouTube is approaching the 4-year anniversary. It's had its ups and downs, like anybody else. For the most part, we keep things here positive, or try to. The National, from 2018 and into 2019, saw tremendous growth in attendance. And that was before everything that happened last year in regards to the world situation changing the way that collectible cards are viewed as a whole. So we saw, as I mentioned, a large uptick in attendance from 18 to 19. Now, I was under the belief that if there was no bug situation in 2020 and the show had gone on as scheduled in Atlantic City in 2020, the attendance would have been even more bonkers in 2020 versus 2019. But, due to the world situation, there was no National in 2020. And it wasn't until this spring that we were sure there was going to be a 2021 National, which would be back in Chicago, where it was in 2019. I myself have been fortunate enough to attend each National since 2010. That happened because obviously 2020 did not happen. In 2010, the National was in Baltimore, Maryland. I had made a decision literally the week of to attend. I was fortunate enough at the time to know some folks that were set up at the show. They were able to get me a pass. But the caveat for myself was I was only able to go for one day. You see, I was working in Manhattan, in New York at the time, and I left Friday night I took a bus, a service that will not be named, and went to Maryland directly from New York City, from Manhattan, very late at night. Arrived very early in the morning. My friend picked me up, and I crashed on their hotel room floor. We got up early Saturday morning, went to the show. Now, I had been to many, many shows in my life. At the time I was 39 at that show. And it was like nothing I had ever seen. Ever. Blew me away. Like totally mind blown. But unfortunately I had to leave Saturday night. Come back to real life. But it left an impression on me that was amazing. Then in 2011, it was going to be in Chicago. I was determined to go. I was able to go. I did not know anybody. I bought a VIP pass. I booked a room. I went. And I met a few people at the 2011 Chicago show. I met a few people. And then the course between 2011 and 2012. And in 2012, it was back in Baltimore again. I was more prepared this time. I booked a room. Bought my VIP. Attended. And I met some other folks. I met more folks this time because I was chatting with folks on a message board prior to the National, over the winter and whatnot. Oh, hey, you going? Hey, are you going? Hey, are you going? Sure enough, yeah, I'm going. We should meet up. We should go out, have some dinner, grab some drinks, whatever. Sounds good to me. I vividly remember one of the daytimes in 2012 in Baltimore. I was walking. My hotel was across the street from the convention center. I was walking to the convention center, and I hear somebody call out my name. Hey, Eric. 2012. I was writing a blog, sports cards and comics, and living with a medical condition. He goes, "Hey, Eric." I didn't know who it was, but he knew my name. Had seen, on Twitter and stuff. He introduced himself. His name's Patrick. Ratty Cards here on YouTube and on social media. So it was Patrick, and he had his friend Ryan with him. We just started chatting. He's like, "Hey, I read your blog," etc. Hey, you going to the show? Yeah, let's go. We go into the show. Have a great time at the show. I meet up with the people from the message board that I mentioned. And, Dustin and Kirk. Others. Mark. So many people. We all go out. I don't remember which day it was, but after one of the days we all go out to dinner. There's like 12 of us going out to dinner to lunch. Because it might have been dinner. It was daytime. It was light. But we got a big one of those. The good thing about Baltimore is that they have a lot of restaurants. So we got one of those big tables. Hey, party at 12. Something like that. One of those big tables. And we just all started chatting. And we had never met each other before. We interacted on message boards, social media. But, YouTube was kind of in the doldrums. Wasn't really popular, certainly what it is, not what it is today. That was 2012. Head back, I took the Amtrak 2012. Head back to the city, back home, real life. 2013, gonna be back in Chicago. You going? Yeah, I'm going. I'm definitely going. You going? Yeah, I'm going. And my friend Dustin's like, hey, you have a place to stay? I say, yeah, I'll get a room. He's like, well, why don't we just split one? Okay. 13, fly to Chicago, meet more people, have a great time, socializing, meeting people. And each and every year you go and you walk in the first day. At least this is for me, this is true. You walk in and you're just completely overwhelmed by the sheer massive amount of size and everything all in one room. And it can be a little daunting, a little overwhelming, if I'm being honest. But it's just part of the allure. 13 happens, great stuff. 2014, it's in Cleveland. 8-hour drive for me. Straight shot. I-80. Very easy. Meet more people. Just start circulating with more people. Talking to dealers. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? How are everything? I've formed some bonds with some dealers that I only see at the show and don't even interact outside of the show. But we how is your family? How is this? There's one great family, the Foy family. Jeff Foy, his mother Dave, his mother Connie, and his father Dave. And they're called Card Country. I had bought some stuff from them in 2011 and formed a nice friendship just from the transaction. And I get to see them every year. Every once in a while, years back, I would send Jeff some emails, but no contact with Dave or Connie. But as soon as I see them at the show, hey Eric, how you doing? How are things? How are you looking? And it doesn't skip a beat. It's like I saw them last week. And Jeff's got a family. His son had, I think recently in 2019, his son was working on Broadway, I believe, and was going to have a play opening in 2020, so he wasn't going to be able to. Card Country was not going to be in Atlantic City in 2020, which was very disheartening because I've seen them every year. But, hey, your son gets part of a team that's opening a play on Broadway. That takes priority over a card show, especially since this is not his job. But we know how that wound up. So I actually should reach out to them and see if they're going to be there in Chicago this year. I don't know. So that was 2014 in Cleveland. Show ends. Back to reality. Start planning for 15. 15 is in Chicago. Again, another year with Dustin, and I've roomed with Dustin every year since 2013, just because he's my friend and it keeps the cost down and everything else. 2015, back in Chicago, meet more people, have a great time, start talking with Panini, with Topps, with Upper Deck, and really hitting hard with Panini and Topps, more Panini because they were more receptive to communication about retail and go into all that stuff. Form a nice friendship with them. Well, as much as you can, really. 2016, it's in Atlantic City for the first time. At 2015 show, we're talking about it. Everybody's talking about, oh, it's going to be an AC next year. I'm not going to go. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be, it's gambling and casinos, and AC's not the best area, and blah, blah, blah. But for me, AC's like 2.5, 3 hours from here by car. So that's my back. That's a no-brainer. So AC goes on. Some friends skip. Most friends still go. I go, have a great time. And by this time, I've been, I guess I could call myself a show veteran by this time. And I would say probably around this time is when it's really become about the people. A friend of mine, Kirk, has coined the term family reunion. And it's so true. These are people I see only that week of the year. Like a family reunion, we catch up, how you doing, family, personal life, non-hobby stuff, all that stuff. At 16, was in Atlantic City. It was okay. It wasn't hopping, but it was in Atlantic City. So 17, back in Chicago. Meet more people. And just the 17 show, again, it's about seeing everybody, having a good time, just meeting people, making new friends, always making new friends. And then after, probably about 2 weeks after that show, is when I started this incarnation of this channel here, and started making videos, started interacting with you guys in the comments section, started meeting you guys through emails, text messages. 2018, it's back in Cleveland. Like I said, straight drive, easy, 8 hours. Basically one straight line from Long Island to Ohio. And now I've met more people through YouTube, through social media, through message boards. And I get to meet even more people at the show. I make new friends. Have a great time. Show ends. Back to real life. 19. It's back in Chicago. Fly out. Again, see the friends, everything. And I had a custom card made for 19 through Tops.com. They have you can make your own custom card, and it's actually features this, my favorite card of all time. It's me holding it up. Some of you, I think I had 50 of them made, so I was able to hand them out to the friends, new and old. Great time. I've got people, I'm fortunate enough to know a lot of people by this time. And it's very strange feeling to have people come up and say, hey, I watch your videos, I enjoy your content. Thank you for, sharing your knowledge, promoting positivity, emphasizing collecting. Because then the 19 show ended. In 2020, but like I mentioned, it was going to be in Atlantic City. Aim for AC. My big hashtag, aim for AC. And it didn't happen. But I was thinking, and it was going to be in AC, so you had the same people that were upset that it was in in Atlantic City in 2016, that it was going to be there in 20. But the way the hobby was going, it was just growing and growing and growing. I thought 2020 was going to be fantastically popular and record attendance, and even being in Atlantic City aside, but it didn't happen. So now we've got 2021 coming up, which is probably why you're watching this video, so I appreciate your time. And I know this video will run a little long, but I like to talk, and I've had people tell me they like me to talk, so here we are. Over the course of 2020, I did have some cards made, some personal, custom cards made for anticipation of the show happening, which did not. I did mail them out to you guys, most of them, at requests, and I do have some left, so if you're going to be at the show, please come and see me. I will gladly give you one. I did give everyone last year a brand new card saver with it, which is worth more than the card, but I don't know if I have very many. I have to check and see my status on the card savers, because supplies, you know how that goes. I'm featuring my new hat, which I did an unboxing a couple weeks back. Really enjoying this hat. You will be seeing me wear this hat at the show, so if you see, a long-haired fellow with a beard and this hat, please do come say hello. Never be afraid to say hello. Smiles are free. Saying hello is free. We don't owe anyone anything. The best thing that we can give each other besides knowledge is time. Now, a few basics, I guess how-tos, but that doesn't really, there's plenty of advice, wear comfortable shoes, bring a backpack, deodorant, you're gonna have to shower. I know that sounds weird, but it's an issue for a lot of folks. It has been historically. Bring cash. They take PayPal, but cash is always easier to barter with, because you're going to want to barter. You really want to try to avoid paying sticker price. Bartering is not for everyone. Some people can't do it. In the old days, I would say bring a pen and paper, a notepad, and jot down where you see something that you were interested in, at what table, location it is, because I guarantee you will lose track. You will, I saw this slab here, and let me go back and get it, and then either it's gone or you never find that table again. It's true. It sounds weird, but it's very true. Now, this year is different because of everything that's changed. If you see something that you consider a great price and you're probably just better off getting it now, rather than in the past you could do a loop and then come back, a lap around the show and then come back. But I think in 2021 that's probably not the best idea. And I must reiterate, you will get discombobulated as far as, I saw this here, Eric, this guy had this card you were looking for over here. Well, where was it? It was over there. Not good enough, because the show is that large, and it's probably going to have a little bit more space this year than it did in 19. In 2019 they opened up the red carpet area, and then this year the red carpet area will be there, and I think they're going to add even more tables wherever they can, just due to demand. Now, you do still want to bring a notepad of some sort, because you can't totally rely on the Wi-Fi, because remember, everybody's going to have their phones. Everybody's going to, I got to look up eBay comps, dealer. That's a pet peeve of mine. Have your game plan. Have your lists, have your want lists, your focus lists, what you're looking for. Do your due diligence the week before. Like, if you want player X in condition Y, know what they go for. You know, head to the table knowing your stuff. You know, don't leave it up to, I'll have the dealer look it up. No. Now, the dealer's probably going to want to look it up, but you're going to want to know. You know, if this card is going for $50 all day long, and they have for 75, and say, hey, did do 50? You know, that's what they've been going for. Nah, I can't do that. Well, then you walk away. It's easy as that. You walk away. You know, you see a lot of people like dealers at shows now. From what I've read, I haven't been to any show since the National in 2019, but dealers are more reluctant to give deals because of the current situation. But hey, you never know. Cash talks. You know, we are giving real money for cardboard here. You're gonna, I'm trying to think now. It's expensive. It's costly to go to the National. You have to get there. You have to stay somewhere. You have to feed yourself while you're there. You want to buy cards. I get that. It's all common sense. It's not cheap to go to the National. If you get roommates, that cuts down the cost of lodging. If you commute with friends, not flying, that cuts down. You split fares, you split gas, you split everything. There are ways to do this. You're going to see stuff at the National that you just don't see. You know, I've seen a Wagner. I've seen a Babe Ruth game-used bat. You're going to see stuff you just don't see. I mean, I don't know anyone personally that owns a Wagner. I know plenty of people that own a 52 Mantle. That's costly. It's not rare. You're going to have a good time. You really are going to have a good time. You're going to be overwhelmed. In the beginning, you're going to be overwhelmed. But, you know, Cesar did a video the other night, a while now, but calling it the Card Museum, which makes a lot of sense due to the pricing of everything now. But you're going to see stuff that you just don't see everywhere else. Now, if your MO is to, I gotta have steals, I gotta buy cards really cheap, then it's probably not for you. You might find deals here or there if you do the legwork, if you dive into the quarter boxes and whatnot, you'll find deals. But honestly, you can shop on eBay 24 hours a day. eBay, MySlabs, social media, other websites. The shopping is not difficult, and it's honestly, the more of these you attend, the less that actually matters. I'm fortunate enough to have been doing this for a long time, and my card buying. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to go look at cards too. It's human nature. I want to take a look. I like to see everything. Now, there's been years where, you know, I'm fortunate enough. I attend the entire show. Yeah, I usually get there Tuesday and then I leave Sunday. There have been years where Friday comes along and I haven't even seen everything yet. Like I hit a nook. Oh wow, I don't even remember seeing this. It happens. I mean, the sheer size of this thing is not. Again, you can watch videos. I'll try to take some live footage. There are professionals, influencers and whatnot, that will have professional quality show recap videos. You don't, until you go, you can't describe it. You can't get it through the screen what it's like. You have to go. I did lose my train of thought there a little bit, but you can get whatever you want on eBay at any time. You can't get this experience online anywhere. You can't. I like to equate it like you go to your local show, a couple hundred tables, maybe 20, 50, 100 tables. That's like spring training or preseason football. The National is Game 7 of the World Series. The National is the Super Bowl. It is the Mecca of collecting. You're going to meet people. You're going to meet a lot of people. Now, the beautiful thing about it is, one of the beautiful things about it is, pretty much everybody in that room has a common denominator, and that's cardboard. Pretty much everyone in that room knows what 87 Tops is. You don't walk up to someone and say, "Hey, 87 Tops," and they look at you like you've got 7 heads. You're going to have a good time. You're going to be overwhelmed. It happens. You're going to meet people. You're going to meet YouTubers. You're going to meet us. Some of you will be influenced to start making your own videos, which I've mentioned many times. The importance of making videos and putting yourself out there. Now, you've got your backpack, your comfortable shoes, maybe some shorts, comfortable shirt. If possible, I would bring my own food, your own food, snack bars, whatever it is that you consume. Because a couple of reasons. First off, the food there is going to stink. It's going to be horrible food, and it's going to be very expensive. Also, if you have snack bars or whatnot, you're going to forget to eat. I know that sounds weird. I know, it sounds weird. You're going to forget. You're going to get there, you're going to be excited, you're going to be looking around, talking to people, interacting, buying, trading, selling, everything. You're going to forget. And then before you know it, the day, it's 4:30. I came into the show at opening at 10 o'clock or whatever the hour is, and now it's 4:30. And I forgot to eat. It's happened to me many times. And I'm not alone in that. So you got the comfortable shoes, the cash PayPal, the backpack, the food, bottle of water, because you don't want to pay $10 for a bottle of water, whatever the frick it is. You're going to want to probably bring like an 800 count box in your backpack with some penny sleeves, maybe some top loaders, team bags. Even in the normal times, before 2020, there were some people selling supplies at the show, but they were very costly, even for back then. Don't rely on the dealer having it for you. Be prepared. You want to haggle, you want to make your best buy. You want to have a way to protect it till you get it back to the room, to the car, wherever you're storing your stuff. You want to have it protected. Now, as far as etiquette goes, this is important. The more people you know, the more people that are going to want to talk to you, which is the beauty of this whole thing. But at the same time, you want to shop You want to buy stuff, you want to check out stuff for your collection, you want to do the various things, the activities going on at the National. And I can't remember who it was. It might have been, I can't remember who it was, but they've brought up a good point a couple years ago. If you see somebody in the middle of a transaction with a dealer, you don't walk up to them and say, "Hey, how are you? Good to see you." You politely wait until that person is obviously done with either the transaction, they make the transaction, they don't make the transaction, they turn their back and they walk away. It's respectful to the seller, to the dealer, and it's also respectful to the person that the other end of the transaction or possible transaction. Now, again, I get it. Some people get excited. And I get excited to see people. And that is the beauty of YouTube, is that I've met people at the show that I've literally never met in person before. And I walk right up to them and we just start talking like old friends without skipping a beat. And I can, without naming them, I can see 3 or 4 in my head right now. They did just that. They waited till I finished my transaction. I turned around, whoa, hey. No, hey, is that you, so-and-so? No, because you see them on YouTube, and you've talked with them privately or not even, and there's no awkward there. It's not like the old days where, you're just talking through a message board, and hey, is this you, with this handle? No photos, no total anonymity, hiding behind a keyboard without any. I guess that's a whole topic for another day. But you're gonna be overwhelmed. It's just so much fun. It's just so much fun. And then as the days go by, you start to dread that it's ending. Some friends leave earlier than others. And that's not something I don't even want to go in that direction right now, because it's been almost 2 years since I've seen most of you guys. I think I can definitely count on one hand how many of you I've seen in person in the last 2 years. And it feels like an eternity ago. 2019. It feels like an eternity ago. I think I covered everything. I gave you a brief synopsis of my national career. Just the basics, Again, comfortable shoes. Can't stress that enough. Because you're going to be standing out, and the concrete floor is unforgiving. The corporate area has nice carpeted, padded, but 95% of the floor is that. It's like garage cement floor. It's very unforgiving. So, if you want to hang out in flip-flops and whatnot, it's probably not the best idea. Backpack to carry your stuff. Food, water, 800 count box, pen and paper, a notepad is important because of the Wi-Fi, the possible Wi-Fi issues. So if you have all of your checklists on your phone, maybe with notepad it's fine, but if you're relying on an internet connection to get to your checklist, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and just print them out on paper and have them with you. And then you can just old school cross them off when you pick them up. Because you're going to see everything there, yeah. You're going to see quarter boxes, probably not dime boxes, but maybe, you never know. You're going to see quarter boxes, 50-cent boxes, dollar boxes, $5 boxes, 10, 20, probably even 50 and $100 boxes. Who knows? I mean, the way the hobby has exploded. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me in the comments section. You can email me, thosebackpages@aol.com. My email box is always open. Always glad to help in any way I can help your experience be the best possible experience it could be. Because again, I cannot reiterate or transfer knowledge to you what it's like to go to this show. And I really hope to see you there. If you can make it happen this year, make it happen. Don't worry about next year. We'll worry about next year. It's going to be back in Atlantic City. That's a whole nother. Again, for me, that's no problem. But for a lot of people, it's a pain in the butt, traveling and whatnot. But this is so important. It's just so good. I mean, I can't. Again, I'd love to be able to reiterate in words how important this is. And again, I hope to see each and every one of you there. I want you to know that you matter. I want you to share your knowledge. I want you to share your experiences. That's why I want you making videos. You never know what's going to happen to you. Something may happen to you on the way to the show. Who knows? Again, but if you have all this stuff out on video on YouTube, your loved ones, your friends, your family, YouTube is forever. The internet is forever. So if you have any questions, please drop a comment below, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. And until next time, be kind.